This is for Cameron. See, I'm a joke. I need notes. I'm not like Joe Lenardi. Is he still here? Thanks so much for the warm welcome and for having me here tonight. When Jess from DetermiNation called and asked me to address you, of course I was grateful and humble, but more than anything, I thought, why? Why would you speak to this group, Amy? Why would you, of all cancer fighters, stand up in front of DetermiNation, the DetermiNation crowd, and talk about your cancer? You see, I have my breast. Well, this is gonna be a long 45 minutes. I have all of my limbs. I was 46 years old when I was diagnosed, not 18 or 10, or even, God forbid, 2. I have all of my organs. In fact, I've even had people tell me, you have the good cancer. I didn't know there was a good cancer. I basically stand before you, a whole woman, strong enough to plan to run 10 miles with you this year. When I look in the mirror, I think, Amy, your cancer is not worthy. Your cancer isn't inspiring. It's not moving. It's not tragic. It's nothing. So this is my head telling me this. What I've come to learn is that no cancer is nothing. And I'm not in competition with anyone to have the worst cancer, and there certainly is no good cancer. Did I push that button? Seriously? And there certainly is no good kind of cancer. Cancer stinks for all of us. What I can share with you tonight are the lessons that having cancer has taught me. As afraid as I am that my story isn't worthy, I know that if someone here tonight hears one thing that propels them another mile, makes them smile through another treatment, or another dollar is raised towards the cure, then my story was worth it. My story begins January 2014, training for Broad Street. I was 46 years old and healthy, and I had only recently begun running. I had done some 5Ks and then a 10K, and in January of that year, I decided I want to run 10 miles down Broad Street. Rob, my fiance, was tapping out of this one. I mean, he was supportive, but he was like, really? You want to run 10 miles? Okay. I had chronic cough for 10 years. I always had balls in my pocket or tucked in my bra. See? Still tucked in my bra. The cough was kind of problematic for running, so my doctor convinced me to get an endoscopy, which I did 2 months prior to my first Broad Street. In the recovery room, my doctor said everything looked fantastic. She did some routine biopsies, and I was scheduled for a follow-up appointment the week of Easter. I continued training for Broad Street, and in the meantime, I ran the Donor Dash, a 10K, and it felt great. The day after... I love basketball, so I kind of think that's speaking to me. The day after the 10K, I was busy running errands to get ready for our family to come celebrate Easter. I felt great. I had just run the 10K the day before, for Pete's sake, so I decided to cancel up my follow-up appointment. I didn't have time to go to the doctor and hear that I was fine. That day, as I stepped outside to run those errands, my GI doctor's name came up on my cell phone. She said she was sorry to see my name dropped off from her schedule that day because she had something to tell me. Could you come in, she said. I said, I really don't have time. I'm fine. I promise I'll reschedule. She said, Amy, you have follicular lymphoma. I said, what? She said, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I said, what? She said, you have cancer. I said, cancer? And we just kept going round and round. I couldn't hear anything she was saying. We didn't know much about my cancer at that point, actually nothing. But I thought I should tell my family before they saw it on my face a few days later at Easter dinner. Holy Thursday came, and we picked up. That has nothing to do with my slide. So Holy Thursday came, and we picked up my 87-year-old mom for the weekend. We were standing in the kitchen when she said to me, so did you get the results of your endoscopy? Moms always know, don't they? I said, I have a little issue. She said, what kind of little issue? I said, I have a little cancer. And right away she said, are you scared? And I said, yes. And she said, I'm scared too. And we started to cry. I remember thinking that I couldn't believe that I did that to my mom, that I had to give her that news, that I had to put her through this. Good job, Kimberly. Stealing my thunder. Cry again and yes, I told my mom it was sad. Then I had to tell my children next, who each reacted so differently. Brandon was stoic and gentle and cried quietly next to me on the couch. Over the phone, Caitlin cried with much more force as I tried to console her. Stop saying it's fine, Mom. Cancer isn't fine. It was hard to tell each of my family members. Jonathan, my little brother, taught me my first lesson of cancer. He knew I was trying to tell everybody carefully, to choose my words gently, so they wouldn't worry, so I wouldn't burden them. And he said to me, stop trying to take care of everyone else. Let us take care of you now. And that was my first lesson of cancer. It wasn't up to me to comfort them. Cancer was here, now, in our lives, in my body. There was no sugarcoating it. My family was ready to bear the burden with me. That Easter, I took a moment to have a word with God. On the holiest week of the year, I was making a deal with God. I said, God, I'll make you a deal. If you just let me survive this, I will use it for good, I promise. I will find a way to do something good with it. Just let me live. Clearly he listened. Please don't take me from Brandon and Caitlin. Second lesson of cancer. Be careful what you promise to God, because he'll send the American Cancer Society. I didn't know what cancer would be like or even how bad my cancer was yet, but I knew I still wanted to run Broad Street. Rob found a bib online and we headed to the expo. And for the first time, we heard about Team DetermiNation. I was drawn immediately to them. Diana was there and Betsy was there. And I was immediately drawn to them. And I bought a hat. This hat. This hat right here. This $5 hat. We loved it. We love what it symbolizes. I said to Rob, wouldn't it be amazing if someday we can raise money, we can run and raise money for cancer research? And we thought that was foolish. People aren't going to want to give us money for cancer research. Oh, how young we were. Running Broad Street was amazing. I cried a lot on the course. Shocker. I cried at the sight of my little brother on the sidelines. I cried crossing into the Navy Yard. Yep, that gate. Feeling really close to my dad, who was in the Navy and died at 54 from heart disease. I cried shaking hands with the servicemen there to congratulate us. It's as if they were all there for me. And I thought it would be my last hurrah before I would surely spend the summer in bed battling cancer. After Broad Street, we found out so much more. I had stage 4 non-Hodgkin's follicular lymphoma. It was present in my small intestines and my bone marrow. It was indolent, meaning slow growing. My doctor told me, you'll die with this, not from this. You'll always have it. There is no cure, but it's treatable. So there was that. We went to Penn for a second opinion and we met my forever oncologist. He was, 1, adorable. And 2, I guess more important some would say, a leader in lymphoma treatment and research, a world leader in lymphoma treatment and research. Right, he's cute, right, Rob? The treatment protocol he confirmed is called watch and wait. That's ridiculous. The cancer needs to grow, that's what they call it, watch and wait. It's the silliest thing. The cancer needs to grow more in order to respond to treatment. Every 3 months, I'd have blood work done to watch for cancer markers along with the physical. I'd have CAT scans, endoscopies, colonoscopies routinely. My cancer would grow slowly, he said, but there was also a chance that it could transform to other cancers. Right after I was diagnosed, I met a physical therapist, Christy Harper. I instantly loved her. She would become one of my most beloved and trusted friends. And she would introduce me to my new primary care doctor, Dr. Christine Meyer. Dr. Meyer happened to have this little running team, this hairy band of do-gooders, who were raising money for the American Cancer Society and for local families battling cancer. Team CMMD felt like home. Third lesson of cancer: some people will come into your life right when you need them. Let them. In 2015, Rob and I lined up with Team CMMD for the first time on Broad Street, for the first time with Team CMMD, for a group photo before we ran those 10 miles again. It was like lining up with an army. This time, we would run Broad Street not just as Rob and I against my cancer, but as a force against cancer in me and in dozens of people whose names now hung on ribbons on my back. Red for survivors, white for angels. I was part of something bigger than just me. Another year passed. It was now Broad Street 2016. A rainy, ice cold. It takes you 3 days to get warm after that one. You guys remember that, right? Kind of race. Immediately after that run, I had a routine follow-up. Blood work looked good. CAT scan had nothing new. Then things started to change. In July, I started having some stomach problems. Christine sent me for a CAT scan and saw growths in my stomach. About this big, she said. Lymph nodes that had not shown on my scan just 2 months earlier were growing and fast. My blood work now had cancer markers. I needed a CAT scan with contrast, a PET scan, and a biopsy. This time, the news came as I sat getting a pedicure. I sound like a woman of leisure, don't I? Excuse me. Early October, my oncologist nurse called this past October and said that my cancer had transformed into diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. I would need chemotherapy. I would lose my hair. I would have nausea, constipation, diarrhea, weight loss, weight gain, and this will only treat your new cancer, not your first cancer, which will remain there. And we want to start all of this tomorrow, but we can wait until Friday, 2 days later. That's the fourth lesson of cancer. That cancer can come fast and hard, anytime, anywhere. Chemotherapy days were never sad. They weren't. They were just very long. My family was by my side for every single treatment. We laughed and had fun on chemo days. That's the fifth lesson to be had. And this one is for Rob and for all caretakers. I know you're exhausted, but on the scariest days, you being there matters. If you ever wonder, should I go? Should I just sit there in the hospital? Am I useful? You sitting in that room, holding hands, being on my side. All of you caretakers, being out in the waiting room while we get radiation. My little brother coming during his lunch hour. My mom packing bologna sandwiches. I don't eat bologna. My son hitting on the cute nutritionist. My daughter falling asleep in the windowsill. Even when my sister was Christmas shopping on her computer while I napped. It matters. It took away the fear. You caretakers, all of you caretakers, your support is not lost on any of us fighting. I didn't care about losing my hair. That's just me. This is the sixth lesson I can share with you. If you think cancer fighter in your life is sad because without hair, they don't look as nice, that wasn't the case for me. As soon as I started to lose my hair, I got the pity looks everywhere I went. I looked sick, I assumed. I did not at all feel like that was a sign that my chemo was working. To me, it was a sign that I was really sick. On January 30th of this year, I rang the bell to signal the end of chemotherapy. get out my tissue. I had a terrific response to chemo. The PET scan revealed a complete metabolic response. Treatment was working, but radiation would still have to come next to make sure there weren't any rogue cells camping out where my cancer had been. When I went for radiation, I wore a mouthpiece, I had goggles, a nose clip, and I was on my back with my hands up in the air. No lie, I looked like an upside-down scuba diver. No lie. That way, I had to breathe just right and hold my breath in a very narrow window so that my organs would hold still when the radiation passed over my abdomen. The radiation techs would get me in position and then say, okay, here we go. 5 days a week for 18 days, they would all say the same thing. Here we go. And I would cry every time. Surprise. Then they would leave one by one. And this enormous door would close. It would close methodically. It would close, then lock, then close some more. It was sealing you in. You're all alone in there with the machine about to radiate you, staring into the goggles, wait to be prompted, when to breathe, when not to. It was the only time I felt lonely during my entire process. But then you would hear someone ring the bell. At least one day a week, someone would ring a bell in the enormous waiting room, signaling that the radiation was over. And every time, it was the most wonderful sound in the world. Everyone would clap, I would cry hard, good tears. For me, I would think, that's another red ribbon walking out the door. You don't feel alone when you hear that bell. I rang the bell 2 weeks ago. So chemo, the radiation attacked my second cancer, but what I face now is that I still have my first cancer. I'm back to watch and wait. Big fun time. I will see my adorable oncologist, right, Rob? Every 2 months for blood work, an exam, and a maintenance infusion. My mom struggles to accept this. How is it possible that you went through all of that and you still have cancer? She wants more than anything to fix it, to take it away from me. She doesn't want me to be afraid anymore. I am desperate to never stop being a mother to my children. They are the reason I fight to live. I would do anything to grow old with them, just like my mother has with me. So I guess both my mom at age 90 and me at age 49 learned the 7th lesson of cancer. You never stop being your kid's mom. You want to be with them forever. It ain't over when you ring that bell, though. Cancer leaves you with many reminders. The first reminder is your filthy house, which you haven't had the energy to truly clean in months. Right, Rob? Your next reminder, your bills. Pico, Comcast, the mortgage, the cell phone. But now there are also hospital bills. Thousands and thousands of dollars for the people that have saved you. There are fractured friendships because you were too busy with treatment and work, trying to sleep or trying to stay awake. The friendships didn't end, of course, but you just had nothing left to give. Cancer also gives you hot flashes and cold flashes. Cancer makes you feel crazy. And there's pain. Cancer left me with neuropathy and searing pain from my shoulders down to my fingertips. My hands are so numb that I drop things all the time. But here's the 8th lesson of cancer. Balsamic vinegar comes out of a white carpet. Bailey's with coconut milk does not. When your hands are so painful you can't get the toilet paper off the roll, you can use your elbow. You're welcome. See, I have such bad neuropathy I can't even turn the damn page. I'm just wishing I could go somewhere. Almost. But cancer also left me with some things that are precious to me, like an appreciation of time. I've worked long hours my whole life, including a second job at night refereeing basketball. That's why I was looking for the bracketology guy. Clearly left. This winter I would have to give up officiating, and that was terrifying. Would we still make ends meet? which is what kept going through my head. But not having that job meant that I would spend more time with my children and Rob. We had more dinners together, not saying I cooked, but we had more dinners together. We talked more. I fell asleep by the fire in my favorite love seat, and Rob would turn the TV volume down for me, sometimes not enough, to try to keep me sleeping and quiet. Sorry, I need this again. And he would keep the fire going. Sometimes during the day, I would nap upstairs on my bed, something I didn't have the time to do before treatment. In fact, Rob would make the bed on the morning because he knew I'd like to nap on top of a made bed, and a made bed would entice me to nap. If I would have only known years ago that it would take chemo to get him to make the bed. And that's a ninth lesson of cancer. Find humor wherever you can, whenever you can. It is okay to laugh. Finally, cancer left me understanding the incredible life-saving role that the American Cancer Society plays in the lives of people like me. I am here to tell you that your dollars, your efforts, do make a difference. My follicular lymphoma doesn't have a cure, but it has treatments because someone like you raised the money that funded the study that saved my life. My adorable oncologist told me, you tell that little team of yours, your dollars make a difference. It matters. And that's the 10th and most important lesson of cancer, that cancer isn't losing steam, so we can't either. Even now, it's hard for me to think that these lessons of my story are worthy of your time tonight. It took all of my courage I have to muscle through this speech. I cried to quite a few of you already tonight, so you know that it took a lot of courage. I wish I trained harder for it because it is my 10 miles this year. I can't run with you tomorrow. Radiation and chemo left me too weak to take on the 10 miles. Tomorrow I'll be on the sidelines cheering for you. But I mean it, tonight was my run. It was my 10 miles, my 10 lessons. One for every mile of Broad Street. Tonight I gave it all I could. And I carried with me every fighter and every angel that I would have carried tomorrow. Stop talking about this disease. Never stop fighting for a cure. My life depends on it. I'll see you at mile 9.